Whatever you want to do is alright with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. And I want to spend my life with you. Me say, sing, baby, since we've been together.
Yeah, it was, how do you call it, necessary because I finished studying and I was a photographer, as a photographer on academy in Brussels. And you need apartment and something to live and you have to look for the studio, but you don't have money. So at that time it was quite logic that I looked for an atelier where I could live in. And then I found this house in '89, one floor, the rest was full of pigeons and of mass and rain and trees, and it was totally a mess. So I rent the second floor from '89 till '96, and for the rest there was nothing in this house. There was really no electricity, no water, no windows, a mess.
Yeah.
And then little by little you start to put your soul in it, and after a while I had to move out because it was for sale, the building. And yeah, I couldn't buy it because it was too expensive and all those things. But then suddenly under there was a metal industry, and they talked with me if we could not buy together the building, and so we did. And then after some years they moved and I bought the second part just like this.
Oh, nice.
No, because at that moment I was looking already. My girlfriend was at that time pregnant, and I had to move here. I was looking for a house, but everything was. If you live already for 7 years in one space of 300 square meters, you're so used to, you know. And yeah, at the other side I had a kind of family life, so a child which was coming, and I was looking for a lot of houses and a lot of things, but I couldn't found myself. I wanted to stay, in fact, and then with a lot of talkings with banks and all those things, I could buy the floor where I lived at that time, the second floor, the third, and this one. But this one was really, there was no floor, no. We changed the roof. There were no windows. It was really pigeons, only pigeons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a logic thing. When I was after I bought the 3 floors, I stayed on the second floor, and my first child Zoran, he grew up and he lived in the little wagon there, the living, how do you call it?
It's like the
van.
gypsy.
Yeah, the gypsy van.
Yeah.
We built it just like this because he had no sleeping room and he grew up. Then there came the second child, and it becomes difficult because yeah, you need rooms, you need those things. And I needed also money to renovate the building. So I had something like, oh, you know what? When I was a student, the only thing I missed was space. I mean, you found a lot of places, but never a place where you can work in, where you can make pictures and all those things. So out of this frustration, I built for creative people apartments, you cannot say, just floors with space, atelier space. And that's in fact my thing. It was a financial thing, and at the same time I didn't want to make rooms, you know. And I started here under on the third floor, and I was not satisfied with it because you make really rooms and you break the space. And so then next floor I did was the second floor. That was the vans on wheels. They are not really movable, but I say that they are movable. They are too heavy. And then after it I did the first floor with the pillars, and because I don't want to repeat things, you know. And I'm very happy now that I didn't make stupid spaces out of so nice creative spaces. The positive thing is that I know that I cannot live else anymore. I mean, since '89 I'm living in spaces, and when I'm somewhere in a house or an apartment or friends, I like it. But after some hours the walls come on me, and I become crazy somehow. When I'm at my parents' place, they have a nice, how do you call it, bungalow or something like this, with a garden and everything. But when I'm sitting there after some hours, it's like, oh, the doors and I cannot. And I feel free. That's maybe the most important thing of space. And this is what I try to keep in the house, to keep the space and to give it to people. I don't think, because they have to share things, and that's maybe the biggest problem. But it's now like for 3 or 4 years busy, and every year there's a changement of people, and you have always some little troubles. But in fact, it goes, because someone who comes to live here is already confronted with the thing I have to share. But I want to use this as atelier. I want to have the space for, in fact, little money compared to what you have normally. They share a lot of things. They share internet, they share showers, they share kitchen, they share food. They do everything together, and that's a nice part. It's I think someone who really needs privacy never gonna come and live here. Someone who wants to create and to share experience with people who are gonna do it. Some for 10 months, others for 4 or 5 years. There are people here living from the beginning who are already addicted to it. Who, like Hans from the first floor, he is the first one who came and rent here. And his mother wanted to buy him a house 1 year ago, and he said, no, I want to stay here. So it's a contact place for a lot of people also. It's like at this time a lot of people are very lonely, when you look outside, people are walking with the dog, and everyone is on his apartment with his computer or alone chatting, and here there's really common life. People talk, think, have discussions, have problems, but they go through it, and this is the nice part of it. And in the beginning I was very afraid of it. I'd like something like, wow, it's gonna be a mess. But till now I'm gonna keep wood. It's perfect, and I like it that I did it like this. It all starts with the little van, in fact, with a child room. And I had something, okay, no, I don't gonna build walls, I'm just gonna keep the space open, and they have to sleep somewhere. So then I looked at the van, I said, okay, I build vans with wood. And I isolate them good, and they look very amateurish, but it was nice for me to build it, and for me it's a kind of installation too, I'm not an architecture, I'm not a designer, I'm a photographer. But in fact, the last 10 years I was solving so much problems in this house that I became more and more busy with aesthetic and functional things. And whatever you look, it's all handmade, and in fact very easy, very too basic. And this is maybe the success, I don't know. This gives the charm to it. I built this because on the second floor, I saw, the year before I built the second floor with the vans, and I saw that people were not, in fact, living in those vans. They were always outside in the common space. But the boxes take a lot of space, and it keeps a lot of light away and all those things. So I had something like, hey, let's do something else. People just sleep in those boxes. Make the space bigger, so give everyone a sleeping place upstairs. Up. And again, I wanted to hang them, that you could move them in the space, but I couldn't make it financial and all those things. So then I put them on pillars, and that's it. And they get, in fact, maybe 50. How many square meters they win? It's like one box is 5 by 2.5. It's 10 square meters by 6. They win 70 square meters there, just because sleeping upstairs. And under it, they have their local little space. And that's for me more in the idea of winning space, of having space, of they sleep together. They have all their same things, but on the second floor you lose more space, and that's the thing. And the strange thing is that the first floor always works better. I don't know why. It's always the best floor. And the vans, I don't know if it's coincidence or I never have people there who stay long, and it doesn't become a house. You don't feel that people are living there. They're moving in, moving out. It's a quicker floor. I don't know how.
Yeah, so it's actually like individuals, but the
For
first floor is
someone.
like more like a family.
Yeah.
So people get close together and
Yeah.
so they're more interactive.
And it's also the engine of some people on that floor. You know, if you have an engine, if you have some persons who live there long and who do their own things in it, who make it very nice and who cooks and who invites people, you get a family. And this is not happening yet on the second floor. 2 years ago we had it for 1 year there, but now it's again like a new floor. Every year it's starting again, and I hope that once it becomes a family. Oh, I love basic things. I hate, I don't know, I hate plastics. I hate all the materials that we are confronted with in our life now. I hate the cars of now. I'm very basic. I love wood, simple wood. I love the zinc things. Zinc. I don't know. Zinc in English? What is this metal? Zinc. We call it
Yeah.
zinc.
Yeah,
Zinc,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't think there is any kitchen in the world in zinc. But why? Because for me, it's the difference between warm, it's the wood, and the cold of the metal, the combination. And I recuperate a lot of things, the heating, everything what's in here. Mostly it's found or everything has a story, and this is also nice. The wood, for example, I went to look for it in Ukraine and in Poland, and I drove like 2 weeks to charter trucks because I need so much wood, and there it was cheaper. But everyone say to me, "You're crazy. You're gonna go there. You're gonna give your money and never arrive." But now I've very nice wood in the house, and it was a lot of risks. But I didn't think what could go wrong. I just did it out of financial killing things. I had to make progress, and I had to be inventive. And yeah, maybe it's very minimal built everything, and this gives somehow the charm of it, the minimal thing. If you compare now to what you see in the lofts and all those things, it becomes so plastic. So the people who lives there, I don't want to shoot them, but they are so far from the original thing of warehouses. If you see in the 60s and 70s in the States, in London and New York, everywhere, artists, it was an artist space. I mean, a loft was a place which you could rent cheap and where you could be creative. And now it becomes something very plastic. It's for people who want to show their money somehow.
So it's getting more commercial.
It's a design thing now.
Yeah.
People don't live in their lofts anymore. If you go to the neighbors now, I visit already a lot of things there. It's so, like in the books, you know, just design. And they pay a lot for the kitchen, bathroom, everything. But they cannot live. They don't have the soul anymore of creative people. And of this thing, I'm very happy with what happens here. That it's still link it to the original thing, to give space and to create and to be creative. And I hope I can keep this like this. But it's making his own story because so many people knows it already. They call it like, I don't call it like this, but for example, Hans from downstairs, he calls it the Art and Love Hotel. People contact me by email, like everyone. There is a story around, and I think the story gonna make his own life, and it's already like this. It's what it's gonna be. I don't know. My dream is to make the spaces more like lesser people and more quality. I mean, if I could do it financial, then I would maximum let stay 4 people on the floor, because then you get good combinations. But I don't know. Now with the, how do you call it, the garage? I'm living there now. I'm sleeping there. there are people who ask me, hey, come on, build there this or that, or organizations who contact me, cannot artists come there and sleep, film crews, all those things. I don't know what's gonna come. It depends of tomorrow. So easy.
Yeah.
But for me, the nice thing is that it has his story and that it's still linked to the original thing of what I meant with it and what I did with it. I hope it never becomes a plastic tube.